Blake, do you have a moment? I need to ask you for a favor regarding Max.
It's rare for you to contact me first. Did something happen?
Well, it's not that rare when we're divorced, is it? It's expected, really. After all, we're not together anymore, so I can contact you directly if I need to. I'm not sure what you mean by rare, but I guess you're right in some sense. But anyway, that's not what this is about. It's about Max, actually. Something's come up with him, and I need your help.
I suppose you're right about that. So what's going on with Max? Is something wrong? Is he okay? I hope everything's fine with him. If something's going on with Max, you know I want to help out in any way I can, even if we're not together anymore. After all, he's my son too, and I care about him.
Actually, my mom's been feeling unwell. I'm planning to take care of her, but with Max around, things are a bit difficult. I was hoping you could watch him for a few days. Would that be all right? I know it's a bit of a big ask, and I totally get it if you're not up for it, but I don't have anyone else to turn to right now. She's my priority, but I don't want Max to feel neglected or like he's in the way while I'm trying to help my mom out. I just thought I'd ask you if you could keep him for a few days until things settle down a little. It's really just a temporary situation, nothing permanent. I promise. Could you help me out with this?
Oh, I don't mind. Honestly, I'd be happy to spend time with Max if that's the case. It's been a while since I've had him around, so I'm definitely not against it. But are you sure you want to leave him with me? I mean, I understand you don't have many other options right now, but do you feel really comfortable with this? I don't want to step on any toes or make things complicated for you. I know things haven't exactly been smooth between us since the divorce, but if it means helping you out and spending time with Max, then I'm on board. Just want to make sure you're okay with it too.
I'd rather not, to be honest. But I don't have anyone else to turn to, and I really don't have a choice this time. I wish things were different and I could find someone else to help me, but the truth is, I'm stuck. It's just a few days, though. It's not forever. I'm just really overwhelmed right now with everything, and I'm trying to do what's best for Max and my mom. I don't expect it to be easy for you either. I know things have been difficult, but I wouldn't ask if it weren't urgent. I just need a little help, Blake.
There's no one else? Come on, didn't you have a boyfriend? Couldn't you ask him to take care of Max? I thought you were in a relationship now. Why not ask him to step in for a little while? I mean, I'm willing to help, but I'd think that if you had someone else around, it might be easier for you to rely on them. I just figured that would be an option. I don't want to make things harder for you, but I also want to make sure you're getting all the support you can right now.
He's away on a business trip right now. Besides, when we divorced, I moved out. I don't have any close friends nearby anymore. And what's with you asking me that? Are you really reluctant to take care of your own son? I thought you'd be happy to spend time with him, Blake. You've always said you care about him, and now's your chance to show it. If you're still hesitating, I don't know what else to say. I know things are complicated, but right now I really don't have any other options. I am asking you for help, and that's all.
I told you already I'd be happy to look after Max. We've been postponing visits for a while now, and the opportunity to spend time with him, no matter the reason, is something I'm grateful for. I'm not turning you down, and I'm not reluctant. But it's been a while since we've been living apart, and I guess I just want to make sure I'm ready. I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. If it's only for a few days, I'm fine with it. I just want to make sure I'm taking the right approach and that Max is comfortable. I don't want to make things harder on him, and I don't want him to feel like he's in a strange situation.
Then there's no problem, is there? What's the hesitation? You've been fine with him before, right? Why not now? What's stopping you from just agreeing? I don't see the issue, honestly. If anything, I thought you'd be more eager to spend time with Max. It's not like you're being asked to raise him for the next few months. It's just a few days to help me out while I take care of things. So why the delay?
You're planning to remarry your current boyfriend, right? You told me you didn't want me to be around while you're transitioning into that relationship. That's why I've been holding back. Given the circumstances, if you could rely on someone else, that would be better, don't you think? I've been trying to respect your space, but I've also been a little hurt by how things ended between us. I'm not saying that's why I'm hesitating, but it's definitely in the back of my mind. I just want to make sure that this doesn't cause any more problems than we already have.
If there was anyone else, I wouldn't be asking you. Trust me, this is a last resort. Please understand that much. I'm just trying to get through this and do what's best for Max. I never wanted things to be this way, but I don't have any other options. I am hoping you understand. I know it's not easy, but I promise it's only temporary.
I get it, but are you really okay with this?
I said I'm fine with it, didn't I? Just don't say anything weird to Max while he's with you, all right? If you do, I won't let you get away with it. I know things are tough right now, but I don't want Max getting caught up in anything uncomfortable. He's already been through a lot with all the changes in our lives.
You have custody of him, so I don't need to think about it anymore, do I?
Well, that's good to hear. I'll bring him over tomorrow morning then. It's the weekend, so you're off work, right?
Yeah, I'm off, so any time is fine. Just let me know what time, and I'll be ready. Also, is there anything I should know about taking care of Max? We've been living separately for about 2 years now, so it'd help if you could give me some pointers. I don't want to do anything that might throw him off or make things harder on him.
Lately, he's been really picky with his food. Sometimes he refuses to eat and ends up throwing up, which has caused him to lose some weight.
What? Is he okay? Max is still in preschool, right? He's still growing.
His health is fine. Don't worry about that. All I need from you is to look after him for a few days. That's it. Thanks in advance.
Got it. I'll do my best to take care of him. Thanks for trusting me with this. I'll see you tomorrow then. Sandra, sorry about this. I need to ask you something if that's okay. It's about Max.
What's going on? Did something happen?
Well, we had dinner just a little while ago and he ate, but then he immediately threw up. I'm really worried. Do you think this is okay? Is this something I should be concerned about?
Didn't I tell you before you dropped him off? It happens often, you know. You really don't need to keep checking in about every little thing. I'm really busy with my own stuff, you know.
This is not something to just brush off. How can you say it's normal when this happens to him? Tell me, what are you feeding him? You really don't think there's something wrong?
It's not anything special. When he's hungry, he eats whatever's around. It's not a big deal. Sometimes he eats on his own if he feels like it.
Eats on his own? Are you being serious? I can see that he's getting thinner, and I think this is probably the reason. How is that even acceptable? How can you say that's okay as a mother?
I don't think I deserve to be spoken to like that. You have been absent for so long, and now you're telling me what to do? You don't have the right to tell me how to raise him. You've barely been involved, and now you want to criticize? Raising a kid isn't easy, you know. You wouldn't understand unless you've been in my shoes.
I get what you're saying, but this really isn't acceptable. Not only is Max looking thinner, but he's been so quiet since he came here. What kind of life have you been letting him live for him to be like this? What's going on?
Max is my child, and you have no right to talk down to me like that. It's not like you've been doing anything to help raise him. You haven't been around for years. I'm doing the best I can, so don't act like you know better. Taking care of a kid is more than just talking. It's a whole lot harder than you think.
I can't argue with that. That was an insensitive thing for me to say. I really apologize for that. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for at least understanding.
But now you've got to let me take charge, too. I can't just sit back and let things slide like this. I want to help him, and I can't just let him keep suffering. I'm gonna take him to the hospital. I'll cover the costs, so don't worry about it.
I already told you, don't take matters into your own hands like that. Who said you should take him to the hospital? Why are you trying to do everything yourself?
I'll handle the cost, and if it's going to help, then I'm doing it. Is there a problem with that? Do you have a problem with me trying to help?
Well, that just makes things more complicated. I'm already dealing with my mom's health, and it's overwhelming as it is. Please, I really don't need more things to handle right now. I will take him to the hospital once I've sorted everything out here. That should be enough, right? Is that okay?
I see. If you're that insistent, I guess I'll leave the hospital stuff to you, but don't expect me to keep getting involved. I'll back off. Just take care of him, all right? I'm done for now. Let me handle the rest on my side. Goodbye.
Blake, I just want to thank you for taking care of Max for the past few days. It really helped me out in a big way. My mom's health has gotten better now, so I'm planning to pick Max up today.
What are you talking about? Your mom is actually over at the hospital right now visiting Max. You don't need to come over. There's no need for you to be involved right now.
Visiting Max? What do you mean? I told you that my mom had been sick. Stop joking with me. And what do you mean, visiting Max?
I told you about this the other day, didn't I? I took Max to the hospital, and it turns out that he was almost at the point of malnutrition. He's gonna be discharged today, but right now he's resting and sleeping.
Wait, what? I didn't ask you to do that, did I? Why are you going behind my back and doing things like this on your own?
You've been doing the same thing, though! No matter how many times I tried to contact you, I couldn't get through! I thought something might be wrong, so I ended up contacting your mom, and she was completely fine! What happened to you looking after Max?
So my mom's going to see Max? That was your doing, wasn't it? Seriously, stop doing things like that. You're causing unnecessary trouble here.
So what? Are you saying that if everything had been fine, Max wouldn't have ended up malnourished? But look at him now! The person who's really suffering here is Max!
It's because Max hasn't been eating properly. Don't act like this is something new. When he was living with me, everything was fine. That's why it's actually your fault, not mine. What kind of father are you? You can't even take care of your own kid.
How can you still say that after all this time? Max told me everything, you know. He said you lied to me and went on a trip with your boyfriend. Then after that, you still had the nerve to criticize me? You've got to be kidding me.
I've been the one taking care of Max every single day, and I am exhausted from it. So what if I took a little break and went out for a while? Is that such a crime? If you really cared, you'd be stepping in and helping out instead of just criticizing me.
Oh, is that so? Fine then. Max will stay with me from now on. I'm not giving him back to you, and there's no need for you to come and pick him up anymore.
What? Do you seriously think I'll let you do that? Max is my son. Of course I'm going to pick him up. You have no right to just keep him away from me like this.
Anyone who can't take care of their own child should just step aside. I should have done this from the start. Yes, I lost custody because of my lack of experience in parenting, but with the way things are going, I can't trust you with Max anymore. I just can't.
You really think you can just do whatever you want because you're his father? Let me remind you, that's illegal. If I report this, you'll be arrested. Do you really want to risk that?
Is that really how far you're willing to go? If you pull something like that, it's gonna make things a lot harder for me.
Right, exactly. And honestly, I don't care either way. But if you keep this up, you're asking for trouble. Are you ready to face the consequences?
Fine, I get it. Max will stay with me then. I'll take him to you when he wakes up. You won't be objecting to that, will ya?
I understand what you're trying to say, but it's not like I'm just going to back down. Once you bring him to me, Max isn't going anywhere, and he is not going back to you.
When Max wakes up, I'll take him to you. Just make sure you and your boyfriend are waiting for him, okay? I assume you're both together right now?
Yeah, of course. Don't worry about that. Just stay quiet and bring Max over. I'll be waiting for you, so hurry up and get here already. How long are you going to keep pretending to be dead? Hurry up and bring Max over here already.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I've decided not to return Max to you. From now on, I'm gonna take care of him myself.
What? Are you kidding me? There's no way I'll let you do that.
I'm Max's parent too. I don't need your permission to do what I want.
Did you forget? I can report you at any time, you know. Are you sure you want to be arrested?
I knew you'd say that, so I went ahead and reported it first. How lucky for you. Now you don't even have to go through the trouble of reporting me yourself.
Wait, what are you talking about? Are you serious? You reported yourself? Are you out of your mind? How stupid are you?
You're the stupid one here. Why should I be the one to get arrested? If anyone's going to get arrested, it's you.
We're the ones getting arrested. Stop with the jokes already. Why would we get arrested?
You're doing this kind of thing to your own son, and you still don't realize what's wrong with it, do you? I'm glad I reported you. It was the right choice.
What exactly did you report? You've been talking all this trash about me, so why don't you tell me exactly what you've reported?
I've said this over and over, but in today's world, malnutrition is abnormal. Even the doctor was shocked. Just that alone shows you're not raising your son properly as a parent.
So what? What's your point?
That's the point! At this point, you've done enough for the authorities to arrest you. And on top of that, I've heard from Max. He told me that you told him not to say anything to me, didn't you? That's why he's been so quiet, right?
So what if Max told you that? You're just believing everything the kid says? That's just some child's nonsense. You can't honestly be stupid enough to report something like that.
If I'm wrong, then fine, I can accept it. But if you're gonna not believe Max now, then what's the point of being a parent in the first place?
I'm not going to let you report me based on some emotional outburst. You'll regret this later. If you want to take it back, now's your chance.
I don't want to regret this any more than I already do, which is why I reported you. Since the divorce and losing custody, this is the most regret I've ever felt. I don't want any more regrets after this.
You're still holding on to that resentment about losing custody, aren't you? Is that why you're doing all of this?
That's not the issue here, and even if it were, I want to thank you for something, though.
What? Thank me? Then why the hell are you reporting me? You're constantly contradicting yourself.
I'm serious, though. If you hadn't carelessly handed over Max to me, we wouldn't be here right now. Because of that, I'm able to help Max, so thank you for allowing me to take care of him. Both Max and I are grateful for that. After everything unfolded, the police arrived at the house, and Sandra and her boyfriend were promptly taken into custody. With Max's testimony and the medical examination results from the hospital, along with the horrifying scene the police discovered in Sandra's home, the decision was made to arrest the two of them. Thankfully, I wasn't involved in any way afterward, and no further issues arose on my part, so the situation was ultimately resolved without complications. Following this, I decided to take action based on the incident and managed to regain custody of Max from Sandra. The entire experience was emotionally exhausting, but in the end, I was able to get Max back, and that was what mattered most. Now, Max and I are living together, just the two of us. It's been a bit of a rough transition for both of us, especially for Max, who had suffered so much. But over time, things have started to feel more normal. For a long while, Max had not been receiving proper nutrition. As a result, whenever he ate anything, he would immediately throw up. This continued for quite some time after we started living together. I had hoped that being in a better, safer environment would help, but it took longer than I expected for him to stabilize. However, after a few months of living with me, Max started to calm down and his condition began to improve. He stopped throwing up after meals, and although it wasn't an immediate change, I could see a steady recovery happening day by day. Now things are starting to return to normal, or at least to the way they were before the divorce. Max is in much better spirits, and I can see his health improving as he adjusts to his new life with me. He's also attending preschool again and is adjusting well. It makes me happy to see him interacting with other kids, playing and learning, things that should have always been part of his childhood, but were delayed because of everything that happened before. The transition back into a routine has been good for him, and I hope it continues to improve his well-being. As Max grows older, I'm sure we'll face many more challenges. Parenting is never easy, especially when you're raising a child alone after everything that's happened. But despite the difficulties that may come our way, I'm determined to make the right choices for Max's future. I want to raise him in a way that he feels loved and supported without having to deal with the kind of pain and neglect he suffered before. It won't be perfect, but I'm going to do my best, and the one thing I can promise him is that I won't regret the choices I make for him. The most important thing is that Max is safe and happy now. That's all that matters to me. Whatever challenges come up, I'll face them head on, because I know that as long as I'm doing the right thing by him, everything will eventually work out. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.